All right, let's get into it. For years, right, the big story around electric vehicles has been, well, the cars. But behind the scenes, there's been this much bigger, much more strategic battle raging. And it's not about the car at all. It's all about the plug. Welcome to the war for the socket. It all boils down to this one single question. It's the question that's driving billions of dollars in investment and honestly shaping the next 100 years of how we get around. Who is going to own the gas stations of the future? It sounds simple, but believe me, the answer is anything but.
Because if you think this is just a race to see who can build the most charging stations, you're totally missing the real story here. The real war isn't just about sticking plugs in the ground. No, it's a fight for control over this huge, interconnected ecosystem of hardware, software, and the energy grid itself.
And sure, the numbers, they look impressive. According to industry data from 2025, a pretty staggering 18,041 new DC fast chargers were installed in the US in that year alone. I mean, that's a 30% jump in a single year. But what's really fascinating is that this massive hardware build-out, it's just the opening act. You see, the era of the simple land grab, just installing as many chargers as you possibly can, that's officially over. The analysis of these 2025 reports shows us the industry's hit a major inflection point. The new war is being fought over entire ecosystems. And the winners? They won't be the ones with the most plugs, but the ones with the smartest networks. So let's start where it all begins, the hardware battleground. These are the companies literally forging the weapons for this EV revolution. They're the arms dealers, building the physical chargers that power absolutely everything. Okay, let's look at 3 of these key arms dealers because each one has a totally different and frankly brilliant strategy. First, you've got Kempower, the specialist. They're targeting the super high-margin world of heavy-duty trucks and fleets. Then there's Alfen, the veteran, who's been in the grid game for nearly a century. And finally, you have Autel, the aggressor, just locking down these massive B2B contracts to get scale like yesterday. And this shot right here perfectly illustrates Kempower's whole game plan. They aren't just selling a charger to stick in your garage. No, they are electrifying the absolute backbone of our economy. They're powering these huge logistics hubs and the rideshare fleets that keep a city like New York moving. That's a world where usage is guaranteed and the margins are high.
Now, Alfen is really interesting because their competitive advantage, their moat, is deep. This quote from the source analysis just says it all. They don't just sell you the box on the wall. They sell the entire electrical nervous system that supports it. We're talking substations, battery storage, the whole shebang. That kind of deep integration makes them an absolutely essential partner for any utility trying to manage a super strained grid.
Okay, so we've covered the hardware, but having the best gear isn't enough. Not even close. The real prize is building a network, a platform that's so powerful and so seamless that your customers can't even imagine leaving. It's all about building a moat. And in the world of business, a competitive moat is, well, it's everything. It's that unique, sustainable advantage that protects you from all your rivals. The best way to think about it is like that deep, wide ditch around a castle. It keeps everyone else out. And in the charging world, everyone is desperately trying to build one. And the gold standard for this, of course, is Tesla. They've built the ultimate fortress, this completely integrated walled garden. I mean, think about it. They control the cars, the home energy systems, the cutting-edge AI software, and the world's most famous charging network. It's an almost impenetrable moat that every other player has to figure out how to get around.
So how on earth do you compete with that? Well, for network operators like ChargePoint and EVgo, it really boils down to this core dilemma. On one hand, you can sell hardware, but that's a low-margin, one-time sale. The real money, the thing that gets customers to stick with you for years, comes from high-margin, recurring revenue from software and services. And that's the prize everyone's after.
ChargePoint's answer to this puzzle is to go capital light. They've built this colossal network. We're talking over 385,000 ports by focusing on the software. They let businesses and other site hosts buy and own all the expensive hardware, while ChargePoint just provides the intelligent software backbone that makes it all work. It's a clever way to scale fast. Meanwhile, EVgo is showing that if you do own the network and you can get people to use it, it can be incredibly powerful. Just look at their 2025 results. A 50% jump in revenue led to a massive 175% surge in gross profit. That's something called operational leverage. And it basically means that once the network's built, every extra charging session just becomes way, way more profitable.
But just when you think you've got the map figured out, the landscape is about to get way more complex. There's a whole new frontier of technology coming, and it's introducing some game-changing superweapons that could totally redefine what a charger even is.
So, what are we talking about? Well, the 2025 industry reports really point to three huge disruptions. First, you've got megawatt charging systems, or MCS, for electrifying big rigs. Second, vehicle to grid, V2G, which basically turns your car into a mobile power plant. And third, the secret sauce that ties it all together, AI-driven energy management.
Okay, let's take V2G. This is a real game changer. Pioneers like Wallbox, with their Quasar 2 charger, are making it so your charger is no longer just a simple appliance for your car. No, it becomes a core energy asset for your entire home. Think about it. During a blackout, your car can power your house. Or, when electricity prices are sky high, you can actually sell power from your car's battery back to the grid for a profit. And at the same time, on the heavy-duty front, the race is on for megawatt charging. Electrifying semi-trucks is one of the biggest challenges out there, but also one of the biggest opportunities. And those hardware specialists we talked about, like Kempower and Autel, they are already deploying these megawatt-scale systems, trying to unlock that massive and absolutely essential logistics market. So, after we looked at the hardware arms race, the battle to build these network moats, and all this disruptive tech that's just around the corner, what's the winning formula? I mean, how do you actually win the war for the socket? Well, if there is one single thing that all the 2025 data makes crystal clear, it's this. Just selling electricity to cars is not going to be a viable strategy for the long term. That old business model is already on its way out. The winning formula, the common denominator that all the successful players are moving towards, is the convergence of these three pillars. You have to master the full stack, from the hardware to the software and the app. You have to build in grid intelligence, becoming a partner that helps stabilize the grid, not just a parasite that draws from it. And you absolutely must use AI to optimize every last detail. And this is the most crucial point. The whole fight to own the gas station of the future has evolved. This battle is no longer about selling power. It's about selling intelligence. You know, this quote from a 2025 strategic analysis just perfectly nails the new reality. Success is found right at that intersection of charging, energy management, and artificial intelligence. It's a whole new ballgame. Which brings us right back to our central question, but with a brand new twist. The company that finally wins the war for the socket won't just be selling electricity. They'll be selling intelligence, optimization, and grid stability. So the real question now is, who can build the smartest network first?